that I did, and like I don't know how I feel about it now, but there were friends of hers that I knew were damaged children, and they were the influences on my daughter. But I felt as a parent that I'm a parent to all kids, and I didn't want to, like the sins of the parents should not be placed on the children. So I let my daughter have relationships with these kids, and they influenced her, to concretize her gender identity more so. And again, I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't think I feel sorry for these kids too.
Of course.
But in hindsight, I should have, barred them.
Yeah, yeah. So what was your daughter's full journey, and what made her ultimately desist and come to a place where she said, "No, I'm not transgender"?
So that's these are long. It's long going in, it's long going out, and I don't know exactly, and I probably never will, what the recipe was, because I threw everything at it. At one point, you're kind of counseled to keep having this relationship with your child, and that's the most important thing. And I took a kind of a different tact with that, not that I wasn't loving towards her, but I decided that I was going to set boundaries, and I was going to hold the line on those boundaries, and they were not going to be crossed. I took the phone, so that was key. And a lot of parents will say they can't do that. You can, and you must, if you want to get your child out of this. And your child will hate you, and you have to be strong enough. Your love for your child has to be strong enough to take their vitriol. And it's very, very hard. I spent many nights crying myself to sleep. Some days I didn't get out of bed. But you still have to do it, because now there's not a day that doesn't go by that my daughter doesn't say that she loves me. So you can take the hate because you know what the end is going to be. Yeah. Hopefully. And even if my daughter didn't come back to have a relationship with me, which I knew she would, but even if she didn't, I saved her from being a lifelong medical patient. So I would do it again. So I took the phone. We dropped the friends. We moved to a private school, which wasn't as helpful as I thought it would be. But, just getting her away from the people who thought that she was transgender, which is it's a really important part of the parenting piece, is you have to give your kid an out, because they're going to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
And you need to pull them from the people who kind of concretized that gender identity. And you need to be the fall person. So I was the fall person. She wasn't allowed to get her phone back until she went by her real name again. That way she can point and say, my mom's the jerk. I have to be called by my female name now.
Yeah.
So we did that. We sent her to some overnight camps, which I don't think you can do anymore because they're all captured. But we made her, they were give back camps. They were, you need to help save the reefs. And so she's weeding, she's working hard, she's tired. She doesn't have time to ruminate at night because she's been working all day. And she's also learning how powerful her female body is.
Yeah.
So that, I think, was really important. And then I hit this stuff straight on. I started to protest. And I had all my protest signs around the house. I made it very clear, I do not believe in this.
Yeah.
Your mother, who you used to respect and who you used to think was intelligent, doesn't believe in this. And I am not an activist by trade. And I'm like, but your mom's doing this crazy thing.
Yeah.
She's going out there with signs and and then I had books all over my house. Abigail Shrier's book was in every room. You couldn't miss it. Aaron Brewer's book was in every room. Maria Keffler's. Like, I made it very clear. I had boxes of them.
Yeah.
That we don't we don't believe in this.
Yeah.
And I think that was an important thing. And then we did some, I did some, I call them drive-bys, because I would make her listen to cult podcasts with me. And so we'd be on a long drive and we'd listen to the Moonies and we'd listen to this cult and the Vow and whatever. And then after a couple of them, I would say, some people think transgenderism is a cult. Mm-hmm. And I'd walk away.
Yeah.
And let her think about it. So I did a lot of things like that, kind of coming around it in a different way. When the Johnson & Johnson vaccine came